Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're going to be getting into another triple drop, episodes 63 to 65. So imagine this is going to be another extended fight, or maybe a couple of fights with this third phase of the Chunin exam. I mean, we're getting spoiled with these fights, y'all. Last fight was freaking sick. Probably one of the best set of episodes we've had in the show so far. Let's go ahead and recap the character ratings around that. We gave MVP to Naruto. Kind of around his mindset mostly, right? And the whole back and forth on a failure and a, kind of like the natural skill set that Neji has. I just like the back and forth and what he showed Neji by the end of this. And kind of going off of that, the best moment, I gave it to the fight, like when the Nine-Tailed Fox came out. So giving it to Naruto again. Just how freaking epic that is. Anytime the Nine-Tailed Fox's power comes out, it's just so sick. It's such a unique way of showing Naruto's power, and on the other side of it, balancing out with his lack of natural skill, but that being balanced out with his such a dedicated mindset to be the Hokage. It's just his character overall in this series I've really been enjoying. I'd say he he's the protagonist, so it's easy to get behind him, but I'd say out of the trio, he's probably the most well-rounded character, or the most interesting, or maybe he's going to have the most development. I mean, Sasuke himself has such a cool plot line, but he's kind of just naturally talented, so it's fun to see the protagonist develop over time and see him get stronger. Lastly, for the funniest moment, we gave that to Kiba. Not a ton of funny moments, but Kiba just rooting all out for Naruto. I love that, especially since those are the two that faced off before, and now Kiba is believing in Naruto, and I just love that. It's great stuff. Before we get in this one, if y'all want to support the channel a bit more directly, if you're just interested, check out the Patreon, the link below. We're 4 weeks ahead there, uncut reactions. Or if you're just a YouTuber, if you want to support the channel, drop a like, comment, all that good YouTube shit to help your boy out. I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all being here to watch some Naruto with me. Let's go and get in this one. Stay down, Neji, you son of a bitch. Oh, give him a bigger round of applause than that. Come on. Starting to get belief in everyone, man. Hokage is inbound. Aww. Oh, dude, this is gonna be so great for Naruto. I'm literally getting goosebumps right now just thinking about how great that's gonna feel for him. He's had to prove so many people wrong. Yep. Yep, inspiring people. Do the little hearts coming out. That's funny. Eat a secret teacher. Ooh, let's see what the Kazekage thinks. No, he's not. Wow, I want his thought process. Got a wise proctor over here. Will Neji learn from this? Get out of the cage of his destiny. I'm pretty sure this proctor's VA is the same as Sanji in One Piece.
Hyuga-sama.
I wonder how much they actually talk to each other. It's gonna be interesting. About his father. Was it the choice of his brother?
あの日の真実がある。どうせ
宗家の都合のいいように作った言い訳が書いてあるだけでしょ。
Damn, the bitterness.
今のお前なら理解できるはずだ。
I wonder if he means the person he is now after the fight with Naruto.
ネジよ、私に残された時間はわずかしかない。その限られた時間を使い伝えておきたいことがある。仕方ありません。私一人の命で里が救えるなら。
ヒューガの決定限界はこの里にとって重要な切り札じゃ。英語、それを守り続けるのが宗家のお役目じゃろ。そのために分家がおるのではないか。
Damn.
日差しの死体をお前の影。
It's rough, man.
しかし奴らが欲しているのはこの白眼の能力の秘密では。日差しでは死体になった時点でその能力を封印してしまいます。
要求を飲んだふりをしてお前と瓜二つの日差しを渡せば。
しかし
This is so sad, dude. Like, the fact that they even have to make this choice. I don't know if I could make that sacrifice. If I was in a situation, I'd just be like, we're going to war.
いつもの強気な東様はどこに行ったのです？これは今までと事の大きさが違う。そう簡単には。日差し、お前、私に行かせてください。お前にはネジだっている。なぜ宗家のために死を選ぶ？それは違います。私は宗家を恨んできました。正直今でもに
Of course.
あなたを宗家としてではなく私の兄として守って死にたいのです。そうすることが私にとって
He's taking back control. Damn, man. That's so sad. Dies on his own terms.
だからネジにはこう伝えてください。私は宗家を守るために殺されるのではなく、ネジや兄弟、家族、そして
What a sacrifice.
自ら死を選ぶことが自由だというのか。
Yeah, it sounds a little backwards, but in this situation, he is taking control.
一度でいい。ヒューガの運命に逆らってみたかった。自分で運命を選んでみたくなった。
I hope that will inspire Neji too.
運命を乗り越えるのだ、ネジ。運命とは自らの手で切り開くものなのだ。
If it wasn't driven home by Naruto, it'll be driven home by his father now. Oh.
これが真実だ。すまなかった。
Yeah, it seems like the head family, at least the brother of his father, has some humility to the situation. Like they understand that it's not fair.
あげてください。
Really good scene.
父上、人の運命とは雲のように決められた流れの中にただ浮かんでいるしかないものなのか、それとも自ら選んだ流れに乗ることができるものなのか。ただ後者の生き方を選ぶとき、人は生きる目的に向かって頑張れる。そしてそれを持つ者が本当に強いのだと。父上、私の目的はただ一つ。
Let's hear it.
もっと強くなりたい。誰にも負けないくらい。
Good to see him smiling, man. I don't know if we've seen him smile once.
父上、今日は鳥がよく飛んでいます。とても気
He
持
got
ちよ
that
さそう。
freedom. Really like that with Neji. That's some good development for him. And just seeing that the Hyuga family in general, like, they don't love this situation either, even the head family.
サスケの消息がまだつかめません。オロチマルのこともあります。ここは皆が騒ぎ出す前に失格に。
何してんだ。早く次の試合始めろ。いつまで待たせんだ。
Oh, you don't be babies. Be patient. I'd probably be doing the same thing though if I was there. I'd be like, I want another follow up after that sick match. Where's Sasuke?
あいつは絶対来るってばよ。
もしあの時どこへ行くガーラ。
俺の存在を確かめに行く。
本当に殺したんじゃないだろう。
Are we gonna find out what happened? Please?
そんなにさっき出してちゃバレバレだって出てきなさいよ。お前か。
おかげ殿、内谷サスケの失格は少しお待ちいただきたい。
Man, they're up to no freaking good.
私を含めここにいるほとんどの忍び頭や大名は次の試合を見たいがためにここに来たようなものだ。
Man, Sasuke is such a huge centerpiece in this world.
彼はあの内派の生き残り、風の国としてもぜひうちのガーラに手合わせ願いたいのです。
わかった。特別にこの試合を後回しにして待つことにしよう。
Bold move, man.
皆様、次の試合の受験者が現在ここに到着しておりません。よってこの試合は後回しにし、次の試合を先に始めていくことにしました。
So who's gonna be next instead then?
よかった。
おい、じゃあ俺の試合一試合分近づいたってことかよ。
Come on, Shikamaru, you can do it.
パンクローと油飯のして。
俺の試合はどうでもいいんだよ。それより計画の前に敵の前でカラスの仕込みからくりをさらす。
Jeez, they're such schemers, bro.
試験か。俺は棄権する。
何？
俺は棄権する。試合を進めてくれ。
So he's automatically gonna fail. But they don't care, right? They didn't come here to beat Chunin. They came here to start a war. Damn, dude. Them eyeing each other up. Oh, things are getting intense. Damn, I kind of wanted to see them face, though. Because Shino's really strong with that bug power. Her flying on her big-ass fan is gonna geek me every time. I'm just gonna keep thinking about, like, Aladdin.
よし、次の試合を行う。おい、残りの一人、降りてこい。
So it's Shikamaru, right? This will be an interesting fight.
くそ、こうなったら俺も棄権して。いいよさ。しかも何言ってもいいよ。
Oh, that's great.
なるとやろう。
He's helping you out. All right. Good episode, man. Dude, all over the place, bro. This shit's going crazy. Naruto is so freaking happy. Oh my god, they're throwing everything.
どうやらサスケの試合楽しみにしてたのに、ほぼ脇役の試合なんか見せられることになって、やだな、うぜえって感じになってんな。
あいつはもともとやる気ゼロだからな。
He's literally the opposite of Naruto, dude.
やってんだよ。これ、しかまる。しっかりやれってばよ。来ないならこっちから行くぞ。
おい、まだ試合開始だ。
やる気満々だよ、あの女。
Dodged it.
中任なんてな、慣れなきゃ慣れないで別にいいんだけどよ。
She's already using like the 3 eyes or whatever. I don't remember if that's what she called them, but
逃げ足の速いやつだ。
つっても男が女殴るわけにはいかねえ。
あいつは影を利用する忍者だったな。
dude, shadow possession is such a cool ability.
影の多い木の中へ誘い込む気だろうが、そうはいくか。
隣いい？
Choji's out of the hospital. All thanks to your fruit basket.
スカマルが本戦出てるなんて場違いっぽいよね。
それ言わないの？確かに大した技持ってないかもしんないけど、シカマルっていつもなんだか作戦とか立てるの。
Yeah, he was pretty observant with his fight against the sound ninja, like with the how far they were from the wall and everything.
ああ、まあね。
さっきだって自分から会場に。
No, he didn't. It's because he got Naruto pushing his ass.
はあ、雲はいいよな。 自由で
Man literally does not care at all.
つうか大体俺全然やる気ねえし、忍者になったのだって人生楽しく生きてけそうだなと思ったからだしな。
なんだあのアホ面は。なめやがって。
He's not even thinking about you, Beige. It's cool, man. Her power is pretty dope. Ooh, close.
影真似の術。正体見たり。どうやら影を伸ばしたり縮めたり。
It's a little dangerous to assume that.
どんなに影の形を変え伸ばしても、自分の影の表面積分しか伸ばすことはできない。
当たり。
Okay.
の影を伸ばして距離を稼いだと仮定しても、ここまでが影が伸びる限界。15メートル32センチ。
How could he measure that so quick?
手まりは接近戦以上に遠距離戦が得意。もう勝負が決まったじゃん。
Yeah, not the best matchup for Shikamaru.
何なのあの印。
あれは因なんかじゃねえよ。あいつの癖みてえなもんだ。あいつはゆっくり時が過ぎる。
He's got an old soul.
だからあいつは囲碁や将棋が好きで、いつも俺が相手をさせられるんだが。
Yeah, he's the strategic one, man.
手が詰まるといつも決まって。
You always need a character like this in the show, dude.
どうして？
戦略を練ってるのさ。
Yeah, strategizing. Brings him to his center.
で、俺は一度もあいつに勝ったことがない。
Okay.
戦略って、これは実。
Yeah, fights that need actual strategies.
言ってみりゃSHIKAMARUは切れ者軍師。
芸人の班を組むとき、彼の成績を見たけど、あのナルトとほぼ同じレベルだったはずよ。
テスト中いつも寝てたんだと。
He's just a beast. Doesn't even need to pay attention.
あんまり戦略ゲームが強いんで、ちょっと腑に落ちなくてな。遊びに見せかけて IQ テストをやらせたことがある。
で、どうだったの？
He's a freaking genius. Albert Einstein over here.
あいつは IQ200 以上の超天才野郎だった。
Crazy. What the fuck, dude?
200?
This is gonna be his strength. I always like characters like this. God, that wind would be terrifying. Oh my god, Choji. Guy is going ham on the chips.
無駄なんじゃない？もうすぐギブアップするってめんどくさがりだし。
Munch, 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 munch. God, Choji. He's a fucking pig. Honestly, I can relate to Choji. I'm a freaking glutton too. I wonder why he took his shirt off.
いつまで逃げ回ってる。いい加減にしろ。無駄だ。
I don't know.
いや待て。やばい。
I wonder how he was able to extend it. Was it from the shuriken or something, or the knives?
時間稼ぎは太陽が低くなるのを待ってたのか。
Yeah, he's gonna want to extend this as long as possible, basically.
現在の火の高さとさっきの攻撃限界距離から計算してもこの距離にごまかしはない。
手まり！うわ！
なるほど。
しまった。
Yeah, he's crafty, dude. Very crafty.
上のパラシュートに気づけば今度は足元の注意が散漫になる。隙をつく。
Temari's pretty good though too. Like she's pretty observant. Damn, didn't work.
Yeah,
that's why she can kind of counter him a little bit. Yeah, she's gonna have to get up and close, I think. Oh no, did he get her? How? Oh, he turned for her. Interesting. Damn, using the last one from the fight. That is really useful, man. Yeah, but how is he actually gonna end it though? Because last time the Sound Ninja was like close to the wall and she like hit her head, right? Dang. Joji's getting real excited now. Is it gonna be mate though? Bro, what the fuck?
Give up.
What the fuck? Why Shikamaru? He's just flexing that he could have beat her. Interesting. I mean, remember if you lose, you're not you technically can still become a chunin, right? You just have to show your skill to all them. So he probably did enough to show them that he doesn't technically have to win. Interesting. Temari. She's like, who the fuck is this guy? He could still become a chunin. I'm also wondering if any of this is really gonna matter if the war starts. Like, is everyone actually gonna become a chunin? Yeah, it's true. Can be really analytical, not too emotional. Yep, interesting. Mm-hmm. God, that fight is so sick though. Hmm. Interesting. Don't say Gar is nothing much, bro. He's something else. Like, they don't have data on him. How can he assume that? So what's fun about it?
なるほど。10分間延長か。
おい、あれって。
Is he coming?
あなた方。
Can you imagine if they waited all this time and he still never showed up? That'd be such a bummer.
お二人ともよくぞおいでに。
さあ、早く会場の方へ。
Oh, it's Rock Lee.
よし、行くぞリー。
Let's go, dude. Good to see Lee walking.
ナルト君とネジの戦いは。それが面白いことに。
He's gonna love this.
あのヒューガが負けたんですよ。
They're shocked.
やりましたね。ナルト君。
お前ってやつは。待って。
Dude, guy is goated, man. He's a beast.
あと30秒。
He's gonna have to make some kind of grand entrance here. They're building it up too much.
制限時間いっぱい。これまでか。
最終戦ですが、制限時間いっぱいとなりましたので。
Okay. Okay. Is it him and Kakashi? Ooh, he's got a new fit. Okay.
いやー、遅れてすみません。名は
内葉、サスケ。
Damn, he looks a little older even now. Oh man, this is gonna be a crazy fight.
ずいぶん遅かったじゃねえかよ。俺とやんのビビってもう来ねえと思ってたのによ。
1回戦勝ったのか。
もちろん。
まあなんだ、こんだけ派手に登場しちゃってなんだけど。
Very flashy indeed.
のやつ失格になっちゃった。
Not quite.
あなたの遅刻癖が映った。時間ギリギリの到着ですが、失格にはなってません。そりゃよかった。
They've been setting this up since the first day they met, man. I'm freaking nervous.
お前とも戦いたい。
サスケ！俺もお前と戦いたい。
ああ。
サスケくんだってうちはのエリート。みんなサスケくんの試合見たくってうずうずしてる人たちばっかりみたいだしね。
サスケくんは僕が叶わなかったあの砂のガーラと、そしてナルトくんは僕が倒したいと願い続け。
Yeah, must be frustrating for Lee.
なんでだ。なんでこんなに悔しいんだ。
リー。いよいよ。
Here we go. What are these fuckers up to, man?
ガーラ、降りてこい。
ナルト、上行くぜ。
Time to see Gar's true face, his true form.
こんなガーラは久々に見る。
おい、ガーラ、作戦のことを分かってる。
There's no getting through to him at this point. Yeah.
殺されるぞ。
Crazy.
おい、行くぞ。
ああ、急げってばよ。
人生慌てたってろくなことねえぞ。どうした？
Are they trying to hurt him? Like,
こういう
中任試験みたいなレベルの低いトーナメントは賭け試合にはもってこいでな。
Y'all are gambling with your fucking lives.
でだ、この試合負けてくんねえか。
Y'all are a couple of idiots.
おいおい、返事ぐらいしてくれよ。
ビビって声も出ねえか。
You have no idea. God, he looks insane. He's just getting warmed up for his fight at this point. Gar's such a good villain, man. I love it. So much tension. They're literally frozen, dude. Jeez. Hmm.
前の2人がいなかったが、俺たちがやられてたな。サスケでもやばいぞこりゃ。
I don't know. Sasuke looks like he's grown a lot, man, from this train. Whatever it is, he looks legit right now. Dang. Ah, it's gonna end there, isn't it? Ah, ooh, new outro though. All right, y'all, review section time. Let's start off by giving a round of applause to our boy Naruto. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. Absolutely love the moment with the crowd clapping for Naruto because I think it speaks a lot to where Naruto is at in his journey now. You know, something we got really early on about being the Hokage is that you need to earn the trust of the people around you, of your village. And Naruto's always been in a state where he's been on the opposite of the spectrum. He's had very few people who trust him. In fact, most people distrust him because of the nine-tailed fox and what it represents. But I think this moment for him is seeing the people of the village and other villages even being impressed by Naruto. And I think them seeing him take down Neji and this powerful Hyuga family bloodline will help people believe in him a bit more. And I think the clapping of that and seeing Naruto's happiness in it was a really powerful moment for his character. Outside of that, we got some big focus on Neji and the Hyuga family and also Shikamaru. And this whole time in the background, the Sand Village being fucking sus as hell. Just scheming absolutely on Sasuke. But let's start with talking about Hyuga family a bit and getting more on Neji and his father's sacrifice. I really love the moment where Hiyashi comes in and starts talking to Neji, and specifically, he says something about waiting for this moment so that to give Neji this scroll that was written by his father before he died. He was waiting to give this to Neji for when he would understand it, because I guess if he hadn't had this experience with this fight with Naruto, he might have not understood what his father was trying to tell him. And it's great seeing more of the background on Hisashi, right? And the sacrifice he made, kind of to replace his brother. Because when we got the context of this in the fight before Neji and Naruto, Neji believed that Hisashi, his father, was kind of forced to take the place as a body double for Hisashi. Or Hiyashi. Their names are too freaking similar, man. But we come to find out that really Hiyashi was actually really hesitant to even suggest this. He wanted to be the one to die for the village to avoid this war. But it was the rest of the Hyuga family who didn't want that to happen. They kept on reminding him of his duty to protect the Kekkai Genkai and that it should be his brother who takes his place. But you can see the resistance in it. He didn't really want to put his brother in a situation because he knew his brother had Neji. So it's really great to see that Hiyashi actually has a lot of empathy for his brother and the Branch family. This from an audience perspective, this whole time we've been led to believe that the head family has really kind of, I don't want to say discriminated against them, but has set them up to, really be a subordinate and to take advantage of them and to kind of offload the duty of protecting the Kekkai Genkai to them rather than, themselves taking ownership of it. But we come to find out that Hiyashi has a lot of empathy for his brother and for Neji as well, and doesn't want to, see Neji grow the same bitterness and resentment that his brother did. And we kind of see this come to a crux here where Hisashi punches his brother in the stomach and basically makes him accept that he's going to be the one to die. But he says that he's doing it because he wants to protect his brother, protect his family, and to protect the village, to get a sense of freedom, to go against the duty of the Hyuga family. And although that duty would have been the same result, that he would die, he's doing it for different reasons. He's declaring that I'm doing it for my brother. I'm not doing it for the Hyuga clan. I'm doing it for my brother and for Neji and the village. So I love that moment of kind of taking back your power from, the people who put you in the situation or the system that you're born into, the duty that you kind of have to fulfill. At least he's doing it on his own terms. And I think ultimately that's because he wants to convey to Neji that one does have power to take control over their fate. Specifically, he says in his letter to Neji, he says, "Overcome your own fate, Neji. Fate is something you work out with your own hands." I love that second line especially. Fate is something you work out with your own hands. That implies that it's something that you kind of build over time yourself, right? You actually do have autonomy to decide your fate. And Neji's kind of internal dialogue that we get kind of as he's, thinking about this and, almost speaking to his father, he kind of compares destiny to a floating cloud in a fixed current. I think it's a pretty interesting metaphor. It really is. And we honestly actually see this contrasted against Shikamaru later, and he kind of talks about clouds as well. And we can get to that in a little bit, but it's interesting that Neji kind of compares it to a cloud and a fixed current, but how he kind of views it now after this fight with Naruto and realizing this and getting, kind of being validated from his father's letter is that we can kind of change the current of the fate that we have. The current is really what moves us in the direction. We kind of are the cloud, but the current itself is something that can be swayed, and we can kind of change our pathways along life. This really makes me think about predestination and our fate a lot as well. I was born in a religious household, and my religion, predestination is a big concept in that, you kind of already have your pathway set out for you. But I think as humans, it's a little difficult for us to accept that in our reality. And I don't know where I stand in my opinion of it personally, because there is some element of it. It's like, well, you're born into this family, you're born into this pathway with this environment that's going to impact you in certain ways. And no matter what, you are who you are, and you're going to make decisions based off of that, and you're going to follow that pathway no matter what. It's, similar to what we talked about with, your thoughts and your feelings not really being, who you are, who your identity is, right? But how you act on it is really what defines you. But if you're given those thoughts and feelings, are you really in control of your actions? It's kind of a little bit of a paradoxical thing. But I like to believe that we all have control over our fate to some degree. We all have that choice in that moment of whatever our thoughts and our emotions are to make a certain action, right? You can choose to watch your thoughts and let them pass, or watch your emotions and let them pass and not take action, or you can take action with them. So I think there is some level of control we have over our fate. It's just a matter of having the strength to actually be able to, change that. And Neji talks a lot about how to be able to kind of change that current, you need to have a goal. And strong people are the ones that can follow that goal, to dedicate themselves to something, to change that current. You can't change a current if you're lackluster about it. You have to be dedicated to it. And he said the people that choose that and to stick by it are the ones who are strong. And I think he's referring to people like Naruto or Rock Lee here. Naruto is somebody who has been given a pathway for himself with the nine-tailed fox being sealed with him as a baby, but he is choosing to dedicate himself to this goal of being the Hokage, to change himself. And so I think he's really referring to someone like Naruto, or even to Rock Lee, who had dedicated himself to being the strongest as well. And I think it's great to see Neji at the end here be like, my goal is going to be the strongest as well. And I think he'll be able to change his current through that. So I really love all the metaphors in these episodes. Let's jump forward to Shikamaru and his fight, because I think we get a pretty stark contrast between a character like Neji and the metaphor of the clouds and his fate, with Shikamaru, who actually wishes that he was more like a cloud. He wants the he talks about the freedom of being a cloud. But I think it's interesting because it kind of contrasts the metaphor that we got for Neji and the cloud with, how the cloud is kind of fixed in that curve. So a cloud doesn't really have freedom, but Shikamaru kind of views freedom as the ability to float around like a cloud without any worries, right? He thinks being in that current is actually a liberating thing, because then you don't really need to strive for anything. And I think that's perfect for a character like Shikamaru, who doesn't really have any desires. He's the opposite of someone like Naruto, Neji, Sasuke, right? He's somebody who doesn't really know what he wants. He lacks direction. And so for him, having a clear pathway, clear current to follow would actually be a really liberating thing. And I think it's a really important that the author stresses this, that there's people like Shikamaru and then there's people like Neji, right? There's people who have high desires and kind of feel stuck because they can't express those desires, or they're stuck in a system. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's lots of people who are the opposite, who don't even have a desire in the first place. They don't struggle with, feeling stuck. They struggle with not feeling like they can move at all, right? And those are the same thing to a degree, but they're actually really different. If you have high desire but you feel stuck in a system, you'll build up bitterness and resentment. But in Shikamaru's place, or someone that's like Shikamaru, they really just have a lot of anhedonia. They don't have a drive to go and accomplish great things. So freedom for them is different. Freedom for them is being able to kind of just go along a path or a current in a very simplified way. But I'm curious on why Shikamaru has such low ambition, or lacks such a desire, what his background for that is. Maybe it has something to do with his intellect and the way he perceives the world. And by the way, I love that whole part of his character, the fact that that's his strength, is his intellect and being a strategist. And we see that really come into play with this fight against Temari. Just really, really interesting in that fight and whatnot. But I am very curious on why he is so, why he kind of has anhedonia. That's the way I would explain it, but maybe there's a lot more to it in terms of the background of his character. But we also see kind of some of the strengths of that lack of motivation, right? He doesn't really care about the results of his fight. And even though he gets the leg up on Temari in his fight with her, he doesn't care enough to finish it, right? He doesn't care enough to, kind of use all his chakra and to finish the fight off with all of his reserves left. Instead, I think he's smart enough to know that he has showed his skill set, and he's showing his discipline in this case to, not desire a full-blown win in this fight, but instead to win the competition, right? To show people what he's about. And I love all the exposition talking about him, that he has the potential to actually be a really good leader because of this, because he's not going to become too emotional or fearful, and he can make a rational decision in those cases. So out of all the contestants, he's actually probably the one who's most deserving to be a Chunin at this point in the fights we've seen, not because of his raw power or his raw desire, but because of his intellect and the balance that he has with that. So I think it's interesting kind of showing some of the pros of his lack of desire here. Outside of that, we really just get a lot of information about, well, not a lot of information, a lot of tension with the Sand Village scheming here, right? With the Sound Village. We see the Kazekage trying to delay the disqualification of Sasuke multiple times, right? Kind of skipping the fight over, and even when they get back to him, he's trying to delay even more for Sasuke to show up. So, we've already gotten a lot of this information that Sasuke is kind of the key centerpiece from this for Orochimaru, and also from the Sand Village, that Sasuke is kind of the key piece for them to trigger this war. Now, I'm still very interested on what that's going to be, how that's actually going to happen in this fight with Gaara. But there's a lot more that we know with that Kankuro is going to use Crow or his puppet in some way, and that's why he disqualified himself from the fight. So I'm really curious on how this is all going to play out in this next fight here. And obviously Sasuke shows up, looks badass, by the way. He looks like he's really matured, not even just in his his fit, like his attire has changed, but also in his hair has like grown a little bit longer. His face looks a bit more matured. So they've done some pretty intense training, it seems. But even then, we also don't really get a full resolution to what happened when Gaara went there and confronted Kakashi and Sasuke, because we do see that they do confront each other. So we'll see what that actually ends up being. I'm imagining we'll probably get more flashbacks when the fight actually starts with Gaara and Sasuke. But ooh, big cliffhanger, man. I'm so excited for that fight. It's gonna be sick. All right, let's go ahead and get into the character ratings for MVP. This is a really tough one. Honestly, I think the character ratings for these episodes in general is probably some of the harder ones, since we got a lot of different really good insights on characters and kind of the sacrifices they made, but different metaphors being used from the clouds and whatnot. But for MVP, I'm going to give it to Hisashi and him taking back control, the letter he left for Neji, and just how important that was for Neji's development and to kind of break free of this fate. You know, talking once again about the bird in the cage and kind of, you know, I love the Proctor's kind of his little metaphor about the bird trying to get out of the cage to fly again. Just really interesting. I thought his sacrifice was really important for Neji's character, but I also want to give a shout out to his brother Hiyashi here, because I think it was really great seeing that he did have empathy for his brother. He didn't want his brother to die. He wanted to be the one to die. He believed that he should be the one to die to make this sacrifice, but his brother took control in the situation to do it when Hiyashi didn't have the choice to make, with the Hyuga clan all pressuring him to let his brother die instead. And I think this really comes to a crux where after Neji finishes reading the scroll from his father, we see Hiyashi bowing to him. And you can see the shock in Neji's face. I thought that was a really powerful moment. I think it shows how much more the clan is connected as a family than we were led to believe as an audience, and that they do truly care about each other in this, you know, head and branch family system that was set up. Yeah, it's set up to, and it's going to build resentment and bitterness. But at the end of the day, they have the autonomy to change that into care about each other, make choices based off a family and the village and how much they care for each other versus, you know, just their duty itself, you know. For the best moment, I'm gonna give that to Neji and the cloud metaphor. I really thought that was really interesting. I like how it was contrasted with Shikamaru. Just probably the most interesting writing in this episode. It really makes me think a lot about fate or predestination. And, you know, we already talked about that a lot earlier in this review section, but it just makes my mind go. I think it's really interesting, and I think the author did a good job of writing this plot line into the Chunin exam here. Lastly, for the funniest moment, this is the only easy one to give. We'll give it to Naruto, of course, pushing Shikamaru off right before he was about to retire himself as well. It's too funny, dude. All right, y'all. I think that'll do it for this episode. Let me know what y'all thought about this one in the comments down below. Next one's gonna be a banger. I can feel it. I think everything's gonna explode in the next episode too, if I had to guess, with the Sand Village just scheming so much. But dude, Gaara versus Sasuke, it's gonna be crazy. If y'all are interested in you know, checking out the Patreon or anything, it'll be in the link below, 4 weeks ahead there. But either way, I appreciate y'all being here to watch Naruto with me. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.